couple of minutes to get situated here. Wow, DeFi Kingdoms officially finished their AMA for today. Lots of very interesting stuff. Only a decent amount to talk about today. Finishing up a few things here before we get started. Testing. What is this? Testing. What is this? All right. Alrighty, let's get into DeFi Kingdoms. How's everyone doing? Good meridian. Whether that is AM or PM for you, welcome on into the chat room. How is everyone doing? Let's see. So, DeFi Kingdoms had their official AMA just not too long ago. Let's see what we are, where we're at here. DeFi Kingdoms. Guess we ought to drop a link to this, streamed 11 minutes ago. Let's drop this link into chat. Can't imagine that anyone who's watching my stream was not watching the AMA. There were a couple of very interesting bits of information in there. We'll go ahead and like that. Love it. All right. So, what do we have here? Some of the takeaways I think that I've got is the voting. We talked about that this morning on the stream, on the Twitch stream this morning. So let's hop over to Discord as an example and check out the announcements over here. So what did we have? We had the votes. Proposal 22, Hack the Locked Jewel and Lost Locked Jewel restorations and the Jewel 2.0. We want to make sure that we are voting on these. I think my account here voted on these this morning, but let's just make sure about that. So let's go ahead and hop over here. Jeweler 2.0 with C Jewel, 99.57% yeses. I mean, who would not want all of these great benefits that are shown here? We talked about this morning, so I'm not going to read over all of this again, but it does look like there are going to be lots of good benefits to owning C Jewel, which we kind of knew, but certainly it looks like I'm feeling even more confident now that this is going to be something that people are going to want to be involved with, and probably a larger amount of normal players are going to be wanting this as well. So that probably should drive the price up. I think it's really going to come down to what are the actual benefits. And the team continues to say that the benefits here are going to be really good. They're really excited. They really think that a lot of people are going to be seeking out C Jewel. And because of that, it might be a good time to start ramping up in that. But there was another very interesting aspect. Well, not interesting, I guess. I've known it for a while, or I've suspected it, known it. I don't know how you would want to say it. But I think it was very much confirmed in today's AMA. The quote was, or something very much like a quote, is that Jewel is depegged from the other game tokens. All right, Jewel is depegged from the other game tokens is what was said, which is what I've been saying for a while now. There is no reason that we would suspect that Jewel be at the same price level as Crystal. They're doing two totally different functions. I've been saying that for a while now. And I think that we've definitely seen that. Let's go ahead and accept the proposal here for this account and do votes. 500 votes on my C1D account. We'll confirm that. But the thing that I wanted to get at here was we definitely probably want to vote with all of our voting power. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over to DFK2 and connect. So with this voting power, we also want to vote. See, what do we got? 1.7 million votes. Wow. Accept and vote. I don't know how much voting power this account has. 20 votes, not a lot. And let's see. It's interesting to see how much voting power these accounts have. Let's see if I can vote again. 20 votes. And if it says, so there's 2 heroes on this account, which is what we've got. No XJewel. Yeah. All my XJewel is, I think, in one place. And what else do we have potentially? XJewel in Crystal Vale. We've got XJewel in the liquidity pool and XJewel over on Serendale. All of those things matter. Let's go ahead and grab for DFK 3 main account as well. And for this one probably has the largest amount of XJewel. So 5.8 thousand votes, and almost all of that is coming from XJewel on Serendale. I do see here that they are including XJewel on Crystal Vale and the liquidity pool, but notice that it looks like it's only XJewel in the liquidity pool and not just the jewel side of it, which is one of the reasons I got out of the jewel XJewel pair. Because it looks like only the XJewel side of it is giving voting power, I think. That's what it appears to be. Heroes in Crystal Vale are getting 10 votes. That's a very small amount of votes, I guess, for a hero, but I guess it's all right because heroes are giving us other advantages as well. We'll go ahead and confirm that. 5.8 thousand votes there. And let's also make sure that we have voted. I think we voted on these earlier, but we just want to make sure that our vote is in here for these. For that one and for the other one as well. All right. And close out those windows now. Duels is something else that we're probably going to want to start to get involved in. That'll be cool. Let's see. Look at this. I got a couple of Gen0 heroes for some winning. Stone packs, medium stone packs, crystal packages. Yeah, a bunch of good prizes for that. Very cool. Something else I still haven't had a chance to look at yet is DFK Helper. So I want to take a quick look at that sometime later, probably after stream today. It's an hour long, but I definitely want to take a peek at that. Looks like Crypto Grady has given it an approval, and we just want to go and check out what's going on there. Okay, let's also come into here perhaps. Oh man, did I miss an opportunity to get Galena off? Let's see. 27 stamina and was not sent on her mission. I thought I had set an alarm, but maybe I didn't. I could have sworn I set an alarm for this. Mining. Go, 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 Galena. Start that quest. Now we're going to set another alarm. For, oh man. So somehow it got paused. Interesting. 5 hours and 10 minutes is what we want. Gonna start that up. All right. So in 5 hours, 10 minutes, we should be able to send her off. That's going to be what? That's going to be about 7:30 for me, my time. Okay, I think we got all the votes in. Oh, one more vote that I think we need to do. And that is, let's go ahead and switch over to the Play to Earn account. The 808 Community Investment Fund there. Connect to that. And we are just going to do another vote here. Accept the proposal and vote. 140 votes for our community wallet. It's more than I thought, actually. We'll confirm. So one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting, maybe we'll take a closer look at it right here, is that, you know, some people lost some Jewel, right? They accidentally sent some Jewel to their own wallets, and it wasn't a lot. And when that happened, there was a bug that caused them to lose it. Only 75,000 locked Jewel, or 75,000 Jewel, you could say, was affected right there. And this proposal is really about allowing those people to get their money back, right? And you've got this person here, this wallet address right here, voting no to reject that proposal, and even another wallet address there, reject and reject. So a lot of these wallets right here are rejecting this proposal. It seems a little strange to me. So one of the things that I did this morning, and maybe we can do again right now, is let's go ahead and just like send an item to them, plug in their wallet address, and see it's Proto. I wonder who that is. All right. Not that we need to do anything about that. They're welcome to vote however they want, but I definitely am curious to see who would be voting against restoring these people's 75,000 crystal, right? Why would you be against that? If we take a look in here, some other people that rejected the votes, rejected that. This wallet address right here. D's nuts. Okay. I'm going to suppose that some of these might be fake accounts, perhaps. I'm not fake accounts, but alt accounts or some other people. Art. Who else is rejecting this proposal here? With a lot of votes. Cubanito Lopez. All right. Look, quite a few of the top holders are rejecting those proposals. That's interesting. $2B7. Crypto Quasar. Haven't heard of them. And we're not going to do too many more of these. I just wanted to get the top few. Nullus. I guess this will be the last one we do. But look at all these. Reject, reject, reject. Quite a few rejects right here. Leo. And something else that I was a little curious about. So here we've got all of these wallet addresses at 47,000 votes. So they've got 47K in the XJewel pool, 42K in the XJewel pool, 25K in Serendale, and 2.9 in, plus 990 heroes in Crystal Vale. Wow. 990 heroes in Crystal Vale. 620 heroes in Crystal Vale. 840 heroes in Crystal Vale. $1,200 heroes in Crystal Vale. Oh man, 240 heroes. So some of these people have a massive amount of heroes. It's interesting. 720 heroes for this person. $860 heroes for that wallet. But one thing that I was still curious about, I think my votes ended up being 5.8 thousand. So I was really curious. I think this is mine right here. 7C0, I think, is mine. Let's just check it out. Or no. Oh, I forget now. One CD. Oh, no. That's not right. It is DFK3 that has all of that stuff in there. Yeah, 7C0. So that is it. Hold on. Is that right? Did I just lose track of that? I thought I had 5.8 and now I don't see a 5.8 here. Oh, because it's U 5.8 is now up at the top. Got it. Okay. So really, my 5.8 votes is actually fairly high up on the list, right? I mean, we're talking about if we just select all of these. In fact, let's open this up to a little bit more and a little bit more. Down to who has, maybe right in here is good enough, right? We don't need to go too far down. But I'm curious how many votes we're looking at right here. Down to there. And if we open up a spreadsheet, see, I think I've got a spreadsheet opened up on this other page here, this other screen. Let's just open up a new sheet altogether and just plop that right down. Oh man, it's going to do them a little strangely. It's going to put them in a bunch of different rows rather than all across the same one. So let's see if I can fix that up a little bit. I guess we can come over to here and grab a notepad and plop all that stuff down in here. So unfortunately, I don't have my Linux machine, which would make this quite a bit easier. Don't need to worry about accepting. Let's just put a tab in there, I think. Put a tab in, or even a semicolon, right? Oops. And this is going to be a lot of fun for the next couple of minutes. 97A. Oh, nope, that's not 97A. That's from this morning's stream on Twitch. So where's the YouTube chat? There's the YouTube chat. How are y'all doing? All right, let's keep at this for a little while longer. Let's see. There's got to be an easier way for Windows. If I had my VI session on Linux, this would all be done by now. I really just need to switch back over to Linux. The only reason I switched to Windows in the first place was because Sandbox was only available on Windows, and I started doing Sandbox last year, but I have not been doing it for a little while now, and I think I can switch back over to Linux. All right. Well, if anyone wants to chat about things while I'm doing this in the chat room, otherwise, this might not be overly exciting for the next few minutes. Okay. So anyway, maybe I can do two things at once. Sometimes it's hard for me to do two things at once. So perhaps we can also talk a little bit about the AMA. So what else was happening in the AMA today? The depegging, I think, of Jewel from the game tokens was a very interesting aspect to that. I like their phrasing of that as well. It's interesting that Burchett ETH is listed there rather than the wallet address. Let's see. And so some other things that I thought were very interesting today is they're getting closer to launching Clayton. We now have a Jade token as the Clayton Power token. That was accepted, or accepted very well by the community. That's cool. Jade token. And of course, the devs were saying, don't go out buying Jade quite yet. There's a bunch of people probably creating fake Jade coins right at the moment. So don't be doing that. The team will let us know when Jade is available from the official sources, right? So just hang tight. Don't worry about it quite yet. But Jade is the token. And there's a little video that they sent out as well. So if you all go check out the DFK YouTube channel, you should see a little teaser trailer video for the new Jade token. So that was pretty cool. See, what else was that really caught my attention? I guess See, what else really caught my attention? Oh, I guess one of the other big pieces of news, perhaps, that I'm not really sure how much I care about necessarily, or at least right now it's not on my radar. Something about the DFK chain maybe being able to break free, and I forget the exact word or terminology they use for it, but breaking free from the Avalanche subnet in some kind of a way where anyone can release contracts. You don't have to be whitelisted to have contracts that interact with the blockchain anymore. So I think that was originally set up, that whitelisting was required. Part of the reason for that, I guess, is you don't want craziness happening until everything is tested. But when you think about decentralization, you really do want anyone to be able to go and interact with that blockchain. And so it's my understanding now that that is one of the things that's changed. So anyone can be creating contracts that interact with the DFK blockchain, which should be pretty good. There was a little bit of talk about possibly getting some tokens listed on a centralized exchange, which I am adamantly against. I'll be using my voting power against that. And part of the reason is because, unless I could be convinced otherwise, I'm open to changing my mind. But part of the reason that I'm against that is because I think that's going to open up speculation for people on these centralized exchanges who are just buying and selling random tokens. Whatever's hot today, let's go ahead and buy more up. And then, oops, it's out of favor the next day, let's go ahead and sell it. I think you're going to be having a lot more speculation. And if you're opening up tokens, specifically Jewel, then I think that that opens up Jewel to a lot more speculation. And then some people might say, well, yeah, but it allows more people to buy it. Well, why don't we just make sure that it's available to people in the game? I think anyone in the game who's playing the game are the people that should be more interested in hanging on to that token, right? I mean, if you don't even have a game account, why are you buying Jewel? If Jewel is supposed to be a asset specifically geared, and that we want geared towards players of the actual game to be hanging on to. Anyway, just my 2 cents thought about it right there. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Well, there's a lot of votes. A lot of people here that have just 1,000 votes or so. Maybe I should have waited another day to do this. I'm sure there are lots of people that are not going to get their votes in immediately or haven't already. All right, I think this is, oh man, it's still not it. There's a lot more to go, isn't there? Oh, not too many more. Okay. Let's pick up here, I guess. Let's see. Coming from this direction, what am I going to do? That. Oh, and then 1.3. All right. And semicolon there. And I think we can get up to there. All right. So what else caught my attention? Not really sure right off the bat what grabbed my attention more than that. So more progress was being made, of course, getting closer to parity, I think. We already talked about that this morning and what some of the last things that were cut off from Serendale. All right, so I think that's good. Let's go ahead and copy all these over to here. So that means that we've got 80 people. There's only 80 people who have voted so far that have 1.4 votes or more, 1.4 thousand votes or more. That's not a lot. Only 80 wallets? That have that many votes? Man. That is interesting. That is real interesting, in fact. Not even sure how I can comprehend that a lot. Okay, let's see here. I think I do need to do something real quick. Just hang on a moment. All right. Got that taken care of. All right, so there's only 80 people with more than 1,500 votes, at least that have voted so far, and some of those votes are pretty massive, 400 and almost 500,000 votes for this one wallet. Very interesting. Oh, we don't need to save that. Okay. Something else that I noticed, I guess we could see more. Let's just verify way down here somewhere. I think closer to around 500 votes maybe is my rock account. Let's just verify that that is somewhere down here. And I think we should see Rock 808 ETH is my guess. Uh-oh. Tell you what. If we go to DFK 1, on that proposal. I have 500 votes. One CD. So let's just check it out here. 500 votes, 1 CD. That looks like it. But I'm a little surprised that that's not Rock 808 ETH, except for the fact that maybe that was on the Polygon blockchain and not this blockchain here. So, all right. And I wish there was a way that I could easily just snag 4 lines from that. But unfortunately, it's going to paste it in a different type of way. So, all right. Very interesting indeed. Okay, let's just double check that we did all of our stuff. I think, yes, we did. We took care of all of the spreadsheet stuff from this morning. It's all in there. So the only other thing that we did not do this morning that I guess we could talk about right now is a little bit of the global market trend stuff. Let's see what some of these things are doing today. So over the last few days, looks like NASDAQ took a big hit today with something, but then recovered almost immediately. Let's see, that happened about, yesterday at 3:30 p.m. or right about 4. Then maybe the market opened drastically down, but then by 1 p.m. or so, we're back up. Okay. Interesting. And what we're looking at this morning also was, at least I thought I saw from some of this stuff, was that crypto did something very similar. So if we take a look here at crypto for the last day, then it's kind of got that same little mark down there, really big dip, and then shoots back up a little higher. So that's kind of interesting and good, I guess. Same thing for Ethereum. Looks like we see that same dip in Ethereum. Ethereum's just following along with Bitcoin. If we look at Crystal, we have that same dip there, and Jewel probably right there. It's interesting that, I guess because of arbitrage and automation of the arbitrage, it affects, some little dips in some cryptocurrencies affect all these cryptocurrencies. It's really interesting. I'm not necessarily sure that's a good thing if all of these cryptocurrencies are related in that kind of a way. So if you affect one market, you can basically affect everything. That does not seem healthy. Let's take a closer look at Jewel and Crystal right here. If we take a look at Crystal first, we can see that it is at 24 cents right now. And if we take a look over the last several days of it, then on the 7th, 8th, and 9th, we saw a peak. And then again, just in the last day, it's really taken a dive off that cliff. And that's not to mention even this last little bit of a dive here, but quite a bit right there first. I think we're going to see probably some lower values in Crystal, I think, over time for a little while. And then if we look at Jewel, Jewel, I'm not overly sure about. So I don't think. So Jewel's been in a downtrend for a long time. It just does not have a lot of utility right now. We've not seen a lot of that. Could be a good time to buy if C-Jewel is really going to be that much of a benefit. I don't see a ton of buying except, well, I don't know. There's a little bit of buying right there. If we compare those to each other, Jewel and Crystal, Jewel has had a significant increase compared to Crystal over the last day or so, as Crystal is coming down and Jewel is not going down as much, or maybe increasing in value a little bit. Let's take a look at some of these other tokens. The Clay token, again, big heavy down drop. If we go back a little further, we'll see that over the past month, we have been in a bit of a downtrend for that. I guess let's take 6 months of time period, perhaps, although it doesn't really show that far back. Sand token for the sandbox is another token that we like to look at just to see how it's doing recently. So again, over the last month, we see a pretty steady downturn in it, plus that little mark that we've seen today and everything else. And then the USDC value right here, unfortunately, it's still, even it had a little bit of a downturn. It's interesting. What the heck? So apparently a lot of it might have been sold off right there. But then we immediately got back almost right to where it was with a small amount of volume. So not a lot of buyers. If somebody's trying to sell, it has to get down pretty low. Not a lot of buyers. But when somebody does buy, then there's not a lot of sellers either right now. So people are just kind of holding on to it. So it's easy to pop that right back up. Let's take a look at gold price here over the last day as well, I suppose. Gold price of the last 5 days. It's interesting that we have that same, or this is CFDs on gold. Let's see. So here we go. Last 3 days, let's say. Interesting that gold took a big hit there too. So what in the world? I mean, this is physical gold values. What in the world would cause a downtrend like that in all of the assets, whether it's stocks or gold? Gotta see dip in the market. What happened today? Oil prices tally their first gain in 4 sessions. Let's see here. U.S. stock market saw a sharp drop Thursday morning after September's consumer price index inflation showed inflation staying persistently high. Right. So I'm a little surprised that it bounced back so quickly after that report, because if inflation is staying high, that means the Fed is going to continue to raise interest rates. Let's see. Let's just take a look at tools and take a look at the last 24 hours. Keep things a little bit sharper here, a little bit more crisp onto the point for us. CPI reports come out. Yep, and that was a little bit of an issue today. All right, well, I'll take a close look at some of this offline a little bit later. It looks like there's going to be some more news that I want to catch up on, but there is something going on. I guess we can take a quick look at market research here, close out of that. Let's see. Here we see, show notification, block that. Dow up nearly 950 points in final hour of trading as stock erase plunge seen in the wake of hot inflation readings. So that's really interesting that the Dow is up and pretty much erase that plunge. I don't understand why it would have gone right back up so quick. On gains in Walgreens Boots, JP Morgan Chase shares, and so on. So it looks like some things might be doing fairly well. Investors holding tons of cash, expect rallies in stocks. I mean, that could be true, right? People have a lot of cash, which is not good. That is exactly what the Fed is trying to handle, I think, right? People have too much money on hand, and that's causing inflation, and they're trying to raise up those interest rates, get people to spend more, reduce some of the cash that's flowing through the economy. And so if people are still holding on to a lot of cash, I think the Feds are just going to have to go even harder and stronger, which means bigger dips in the market to come, right? Let's see, Dow's rally is unanimous with Goldman and McDonald's stocks proving the biggest point boosts. Okay. We'll have to take a closer look at that a little bit later. But that is what the market's doing. CPI reports are out. And apparently they were good and not good at the same time. Okay, let's get back to some DeFi Kingdoms stuff here. So let's take a look at some other things that we wanted to do. Back on our spreadsheet, we can look at our to-do list. We've got Galena set up doing Stampot and mining. We've done our market data updates. We've updated the spreadsheet. I guess one other thing we did not finish today, which we could go ahead and do, is we were looking at the announcements and the voting. So let's go ahead and check real quick if there are any contests. It doesn't look like there's any new contests from here. We already saw the winners from yesterday. Let's check out these other places as well. DFK Arena. Do they have anything interesting? It looks like no new announcements. Let's see. Do they have any winners? Nope. Let's take a look at, again, I don't know what TLK is. Is this a different game? The Lost Kingdom, TLK. Oh, I guess maybe it is. So let's move that into a different position. All right, so DFK Quester. Let's see. No new announcements. Oh, but I do think I asked a question in here a couple of days ago under general. Let's just see. So I'd asked, hey, love the app. I just noticed it seems to be showing some really old garden data from my wallet. Some garden LP values I had a while back, but not the current values. Is this known issue? And Born to Die says, thanks. Gardening LP data is pulled directly from the blockchain. Have not seen this issue before. Can you confirm your gardens in the game to see if they are matching up? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that right now. So we are looking specifically at DFK Quester. And when I look at DFK Quester, I'll tell you what, one thing I probably ought to do just to be a little bit more safe. Let's go ahead and look at announcements here. And can we get a link from within here? For DFK Quester. Brown Gent having me on the show. Awesome. Yeah, Brown Gent is a cool streamer on YouTube. Like to watch his content. Let's just do this here. Okay. So under the profile, it's having me connect, which I don't really want to do. So let's do a lookup for the address of comp1, this address right here. Let's plug that in. It's Rock 808. Check that out. Yeah, so this does not seem to be correct, right? So this says, oh, no, maybe it is updated now. Although something still seems to be a little off. It looks like it's showing Crystal Avox at 80. Well, that looks like it's probably about right. Crystal USDC, about 100, which also looks about right. Crystal ETH, about 743. That does not look to be right. The LP balance is 38.62. Don't know how I could see that from here. But if we came into here and into the marketplace, $38.61, which is probably rounded off somewhere. So I'm sure that's fine. So let's say yeah, I'll send you a private message. Okay, and let's go ahead and I guess for private messages, I generally like to not show those on screen. I don't think we've had a private conversation before, and I don't care if y'all hear what I say, but just I don't necessarily like to leak what other people might be saying to me. So let's see. I just took a look again at what DFK Quester shows for my pools, and also what the bank shows, and what DFK game shows itself. Looks like my crystal, is it crystal? Let's just double check. My crystal BTC so I better spell that right. My crystal BTC pool is not showing up, and the crystal ETH balance looks different too. My 0x is here. Take a look at the gardens showing with DFK Quester. Then look at what the pools show on this following link for the bank. Here. All right. So if I've got, let's just double check some of the math here as well. All right. So if I've got 2,815 crystal, and crystal is currently worth what? 24.75 cents. So we multiply that by 24. That should be $695 of value from the crystal side. And then if we multiply that by 2 to get what we should have for the ETH side, it should be about $13.90, which is very close to what we have right there. 0.55 the ETH, if that truly is an accurate number, if Ethereum is currently sitting at 1291 times 0.55, then again that's 710 multiplied by 2 is 1420, and again something close to this, but again, I think this is a little different. And if we come into here and look at this, indeed, it looks like it's closer to 0.456. And if we do that, see, can I go back? No. So we're looking like here, 1290. times 0.5467 is 705. Times 2 would be 1410. Which is close to it. DB around and not Crystal ETH 74, not 743. Okay. All righty. Now let's see. All right, just chatting with Born to Die. Looks like he's going to hop right on top of a fix for us. That is amazing. Love it. Thanks a lot, Born to Die, for putting together such a good tool here, DFK Quester. All right. Let's see, we have a few of these level ones. In fact, let's look at levels. Is there a way to do that? Levels right here. Let's go from levels. So I've got several level ones that can level up, but they're currently being blocked. And I've got 5 level ones, really? Oh yeah, because there were 6, and then Posey leveled up when she shouldn't have. So, very interesting. And then this level 1, I think this is my new Dark Knight. And I'm not sure that I want this Dark Knight to level up. But maybe so, because Dark Knights we're just not good at Fight Club stuff. Or maybe I should say last time. Maybe they will make some changes and Dark Knights will become good this next time. Too bad Too bad Posey leveled up. I think that was the warrior wizard right here. Gen 1, 10 of 10. She had Cleave and Ice Blast, which would have made a good pair for that. Okay. So that's the other thing that I wanted to check out. Let's come back over to here. So, oops, over to here. And let's get back to DFK Quester. All right, so I've been chatting with Born to Die a little bit on the other screen, and it looks like he's going to take care of that for us. As far as anything else goes, looks like no additional announcements in here and no giveaways or anything like that. For DFK, let's see what DFK's doing over here. No new announcements, and I don't know if there's any giveaways. I thought there probably was. I don't see them. And then for DFK Solver, you know, I'm not even sure. This is a premium service which requires a subscription. I want to thank you very much for your engagement in this public beta testing phase. Humbling and exciting. It's now time to get out of beta on June the 13th. We're going to start our premium service. Flat rate of $50 a month. Man. And if you're making a ton of money, then that's not too bad. But when you've got 10 services that all want $50 a month from you, then you got to be making enough money to support all that. Now let's see. Team Goose. Announcements. Looks like no new announcements for them here. And no new giveaways or contests. Waifu. Let's see. Hey. For all the love that is holy, please always do this. Yes. Absolutely. So one of the things that we definitely want to make sure to point out here for the waifu bot is anytime that you are doing things for the security stuff, make sure that you are clearing out your clipboard. In fact, we maybe could even go over to the security section and take a look at if anything's, oops, maybe it's not security section. Let's see. Not sure where that was talked about. But yeah, absolutely what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are clearing out your clipboard. In the pound security, oh, man, don't forget to go over clipboard settings in security, and don't forget to copy something. Is that in security? I guess maybe it's talked about here a little bit. Everyone be careful of a new kind of scam that is asking you to paste your private keys from your MetaMask. Never do that, of course. Never paste your private keys. Something else that I guess we want to look at here. Open your MetaMask. Go to your account details. Export your private keys when you are trying to start the bot. And then go and paste that in there. But then you definitely want to... oops, this is something totally different. After pasting your private key to the bot program, oops, why can't I highlight this? For some reason, it's not letting me highlight it. Whatever. After pasting your private keys to the bot program, copy anything else to clear the clipboard so the bot does not save private keys, and you should also not keep your private keys in plain text files on your computer. Don't put it into a notepad or text editor or anything like that. And of course, lock your MetaMask wallet when not in use. Absolutely. So you definitely want to copy and paste something. And I don't know why it's not letting me just highlight something from there. Can I do it from here? Let's just see. Yeah. So you definitely want to just copy something once you have started the bot. Highlight anything from the web browser, do a Control-C to get something new into your copy buffer to make sure that your private keys are cleared out of the buffer. You want to put something new into the buffer, right? So that is definitely something that we want to keep an eye out on. All right, what else do we've got for today? DeFi Kingdoms, we already checked this. There's no new contests, and we already looked at all the new announcements. There were quite a few announcements. And for Darlantis, we've got, oh, there's a little something interesting in here. I might go with Vitality to level 10, not Wisdom, another vote. Ah, good. Let's do a thumbs up, and let's say edit. Let's go ahead and paste I think a letter C in there. Let's see. This could give our heroes more value in upcoming PvP, which might also later benefit, I think I spelled that wrong, benefit the community if we were to win some of those events later. This should allow our gardeners to reap higher rewards each quest during gardening. And then B, save the funds for something else. All right, and then I'll go ahead and add a C in here as well. So I've got 1 point on each of these just to get it in there. Added. Thanks. Anyone who has already voted could change their votes if so desired. Okay. All right, so that is for our Darlantis Discord. So we can, I guess we won't hop in the lobby unless someone comes into chat and asks for that. Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms, let's check out what they're doing over here. Announcements, nothing new in the announcements. And do they have any kind of giveaway channel? Yep. No new giveaways or anything like that up there. Fight Club information. Oh, yeah. So Crypto Grady did a new video, I guess, with Corey online. I still have not watched that. I need to go check that out probably today as well. There's just so much content coming out. With me streaming about 6 hours a day, DFK content, then it makes it a little challenging to absorb all the other great content that's out there. I need to maybe take a little bit more time to do that. Have to see how I can fit everything into my schedule a little bit better. Anyway, let's take a look here. I don't think there's any reward giveaway stuff in here, and there might not be any announcements in here as well, since this is really just for the fighting. DFK Helper. Let's check out, it looks like there might be new testimonials. Just finished listening to your feature on Intergrove Podcast. Absolutely awesome, guys. DFK Helper really is such a game changer. It's given me crucial time back and has allowed me to focus on work and home and life again. Love it. Yeah. Changelog. Let's see what's new in the Changelog. Updated auto raffling is also up to date, or up in CV, as is auto airdrop claiming. Either or both are enabled in the advanced tab. Very cool. No new announcements. And no new giveaways there. All right. And then finally, DFK Next Hero. No new announcements. And no new giveaways right there either. Okay. Let's take another quick look back at DeFi Kingdoms. One of the things that I am interested in general, is the giveaways. What do people consider good giveaways? So here, they had 1,100 entries, right? 1,168, 1,160, 1,160 for eggs. Chance to get a blue egg or green egg, gray egg. I don't have a lot of eggs is the problem. Otherwise I could do that, but I just don't have enough. 3 regular stones. Those are pretty expensive also. I feel like if I had that much, 10,000 gold, 400 tiers, a blue egg, landed. This is another massive contest right there. We'll receive internal pages 4 and 5. So a couple of pages could be given away. A pet. A pet is about 30 crystal, I guess, or more. Somewhere right around there. 10 stamina potions. It's about $5 of value, I guess. 5 stamina potions got 866 votes for that. I think one of the big issues right now is I just do not have enough viewership to warrant this kind of thing. I think, there might only be a few people watching at any given time. In fact, I'm not even positive that we got anybody watching right now even. Let's see. Pets, second winners, blue and the gray eggs again. Let's see. 5 lesser enhancement stones. That's pretty significant. The bot fishing. Do not enter unless you want to be banned. Are you serious? Oh no. Oh no. So 95 accounts probably. I mean, it's kind of funny. Oh man. Of course, I don't want to click on, well, I mean, this is over now, right? But that's interesting. That's an interesting thing to do. Bot fishing. Did not enter. And 95 people did. And some other people reacted with some of these other things. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a good idea. I wonder if there's anybody in this list that I would know. Right there. Let's see what else we got. Don't forget to enter this giveaway. Is that for the bot fishing? Oh, man. Let's see. Book recommendation Monday. Full set of Eternal Pages for somebody. Wow. Congrats to these people right here. Also, Aram, if you're the real faker, blink once. Interesting. All right. Poll to ban more people. Yes and no's. Oh man, look at the yeses. Outweighed the no's. All right. So we're just going back and we're looking at things that were being given away. Hero. I feel like so many of these things I don't have enough of to really give away a lot. I'm still kind of a newbie. 2 heroes sponsored by Dreadshots. Wow. Very cool. I was in competition with Dreadshots for this last Fight Club. It was a lot of fun to play with against him. 1 hero sponsored. 600 Gaia tiers. And a merch coupon. Wow. Yeah. Okay. 5 stamina potions. That still had 1,200 people. So, okay, so this is something else that I wanted to look at. What if we were to, let's really just scroll up a lot. I think I can just press home. I'm interested to go back some amount of time. So you look back here at what was happening around April 2,400. Let's see. Giveaway ended. This one must have been really quick. Is that what it is? Oh, there's only one reaction? I don't know. There's a lot of things. What are these? What's going on here? Only one reaction? React with this to participate. There's only one in there. It's interesting. All right, so let's scroll back. We want your opinion. Crystal Vale Tavern, possible names. We've got a skull, a hall, or a dragon, and overall it looks like there's about 2,500 participants, and of course people are putting in other things as well. Scroll back a little bit more. What is the deal with this? Why is it only showing one? So we're back in March, about 2,000. $700 for that one, $700 for that one, 2,000 just about. And then it looks like that was the beginning of the contest there. So, but 3,000 for this right here. I think people were voting for the wrong thing. They should have been voting on this. Yeah, people didn't know what to vote for. So what I'm specifically trying to look at here is in the past, before the crypto downturn, bear market, and before economic downturn, before all of the some of the other issues like Harmony blockchain and whatever else problems that we had. I was wondering how many people were involved in these contests, and it looks like really only close to about 2,000 people at a time were in here. And we can jump to present and see that still, even right now, we're looking at about 1,600, so, or 1,100. So maybe half the people that had been here before, only about half the people are still here. Maybe a little bit more, 60%, 65, something like that. Very interesting. AMA questions, lots of questions in the AMA stuff. Image Punch, October 13th, transcript right here. Wow, he's already got that up? Are you serious? Let's go ahead and check out what Image Punch has for today's AMA. See if I missed anything. October the 13th today. All right. Link to the recording right there for the YouTube. So first thing I want to do is Control F peg, right? So here, this is, whereas Joule is intended to be a broad ecosystem, depegging it from the game token versus game token gives us lots of benefits. So that little quote right there is a big game changer. Jade and Crystal are meant to be the main game tokens, provide the utility for leveling up and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely right. Let's see what else that was in the closing remarks. Duels, of course. All the voting proposal stuff out there, very good. Duels is not intended to compete with player versus player. Simple but strategic minigame. With every aspect of DFK, we are building things out real time. Appreciate the feedback and support, so on and so forth. Let's see. First, C-Joule snapshots. One will be contingent upon C and S-Joule proposal and the jeweler, which will be a source of snapshots for Gen0s. Let's take a quick look at this. One discussion this week was Serendale 2.0 Gen0 allocations, which of course we're all interested in. In prior times, we released the snapshots on how you can be eligible. We wanted to give people enough time ahead of the potential relaunch on how they'll be allocated. Currently, there are 4. Currently, there are 4 what? Currently, there are 4... ways. On how they'll be allocated. There are 4 different ways that they're going to be allocated. The first way is C-Joule snapshots, right? So that will be one thing, and of course it's contingent upon the proposal that's in there right now, but this will be one of the sources for snapshots for Gen0s, right? With that, people should keep in mind that XJoule will have to be no more, and that was a little further clarified later on in that it's just not going to have the same purpose as it had in the past. It will still technically exist, I guess. People will still be able to move it around or get out of it if they stayed in it for some reason. But we really want to be moving away from XJoule into C-Joule over the, as soon as that does become available. It can't live with C-Joule and S-Joule, so the Joule to XJoule pool will be phased out with the launch of the Jeweler 2.0. XJoule and Joule won't be retired when the vote passes, rather when Joule 2.0 or Jeweler 2.0 launches. Right. So we don't need to wait for right when the vote passes, but when that Jeweler launches, which is soon, I do think. Some might be wondering what will happen to XJoule. You can still redeem it back for Joule, then swap it to C-Joule, and you're back in business. Yep. XJoule will no longer be a governance token, and fee sharing in Crystal Vale will feed into Jeweler 2.0, right? So you want to move yourself out of XJoule into C-Joule once all that happens. Second way to partake in some of this, the tokenomic stuff, and specifically the Gen0 allocations, I believe, is summoning exercises. Okay, back to the 4 different allocations for Gen 0s, right? So this is designed to reward those playing and summoning to have a chance to win a Gen 0. More details to come, but when the period starts up until it ends, anyone summoning will receive a chance to win a Gen 0. So we definitely, probably, I think we really want to save up some funds and do some summons during this phase right here. So we might hold back on summons until then. Duels can be ranked or other aspects, and 4th is raffles in the duel system. So it looks like we're probably not going to get any Gen 0s ourselves from placing anywhere on in the duels ranking system. I don't think that I'm personally going to be good enough to be able to get on the ranking system. Some of y'all out there might be. So I'm going to have to rely on Xduel, which I do have a decent amount of, and summoning, which I can probably do some of that as well, and then raffles. More details to come. All right. Clayton Power Token is, and is it actually spelled with an O? I thought it was just T-N. I could be mistaken. But it is Jade. Jade is the power token. Yep. And let's see. So there's a lot of talk about that. Several DFK chain-related announcements, and like I had mentioned earlier, with the subnet EVM. So again, if you're running a node, make sure to do the upgrade. Let me see if I understood this properly from when I was listening to it live. Check out Ava Labs' Twitter account for more details on that, applicable to C-Chain as well. We'll be increasing the base GUI fee from 2 to 3. Let's see. So there will be permissionless contract deployment like on other EVMs. Yeah. So again, from what I understand, you won't have to get a permission to interact with the chain anymore. Let's see. We want to invite other games and projects to build on it, on their chain. This is a major step in that direction. We're so excited to open that up to anyone who wants to come and build on chain with us. Right. With DFK chain opening, some have asked about multi-sigs. Right now, we are working with some multi-sig providers to get DFK chain supported in multi-sig. That will be good as well. So here, after we drop whitelisting, Frisky Fox says you'll also be able to deploy your own multi-sigs. Right. Very cool. And then, of course, AMA questions are dropped in here. Things about the roadmap is outdated. When do we plan to have an updated? Or when do we plan to have an update? Yes, it is needs an update. In the process of figuring out the order of priorities. Post parity, that's good, because I definitely liked to see that roadmap. Mechanics questions are going to be reserved for Hubert until maybe next week. All right. And then there's just a lot of other questions in here. Oh yeah, I guess one of the other things is there is a new plush toy, I suppose. Bloater plush. I think it's plush. Yep. Huggable and punchable. Will probably take a few weeks to get them onto the store, but they should be available in the merch section. Yeah. That seems interesting. Okay, anyway, go ahead and read this. I will drop this link in the comment or in the chat room as well. Y'all can go read this at your own discretion. I just wanted to hit some of the highlights that really stuck out to me pretty well. Okay. And then inventory. Show all and don't show all. Oh, just with zero balances and whatever. Can we maximize that and see prices in here now? No. Also, prices aren't showing up for me. Maybe I can mention that as well. Let's see, is that here? And let's pull that off again. I don't like to leak DMs out to anybody, from anybody. Let's see. Also, I noticed the dollar values do not seem to be showing up for my inventory items as was indicated by some recent updates announcement. Not sure if I should be seeing that or not right now. Okay. Oh, toggle prices? Oh, there they are. Okay, toggle prices. There we go. So, I guess we could see a little bit. And if we toggle those off, it just says $40 in total. And then we could see what the values were. I wish we could sort those by value. Would be cool if we could sort inventory by dollar value. So $5 just for the Fortitude, the 5 Fortitude crystals we've got. They're about $1 each, I guess, right now. We've got 12 finesse crystals. Yeah. 5 of those. Also, maybe nothing for the fortune. Interesting. Thanks for all your hard work. Okay. Enough of that. All right, looks like it's about 4 o'clock. We got about an hour more for this stream. What else are we going to do with this here? Okay, let's get back onto it. One thing that I need to do probably, see if I can get some more funds. Oh, and something else I need to do before we forget for today. Oh my goodness. October the 13th, let's do a capture of our flame for today. Almost totally forgot about that. Let's go ahead and save that red flame. And it is October the 13th, Thursday. So we'll save that. And when we come and take a look at our screenshots, I guess, then we can see here, I guess expand it big, that it looks like we are having a repeating pattern where we've got kind of a pink. In fact, I guess this is okay to be this size. But we've got this kind of pink pattern, and then followed by a purple, which would have been after here. There's our pink, purple, and then red. And after red, we should probably have, we skipped one right here. It looks like we skipped the 23rd. But after red should be this teal, and then a yellow, then a darker blue, green, and so on, for each of the days of the week. I thought it's kind of interesting. Got a different color for each of the days of the week. And I was wondering if maybe on certain days, if it's red, then you want to open up the little box with the rabbit. Maybe if it's green, you want to tap the little puppy, or maybe the chicken, or so on those different days. What does it mean, Bravo Slab says? I do not know the meaning of the colors yet. All I know is that they change per day of the week. But I do not know what it means yet. But you know what we could do is we could come into DeFi Kingdoms chat here. Let's see, and ask, right? General. Jump to the present. Does anyone know what the meaning is behind the fire colors that change daily in the marketplace? Each day of the week has its own unique fire color. Maybe somebody already knows and I'm out of the loop. What do you know about Jade? Bravos Lab says, what do I know about Jade? Well, it is the new Clayton power token, right? That came out in the AMA. There was a little video about it as well, introducing it on the DFK YouTube channel. What do I know about it? Well, I mean, it's going to perform the same functions that Crystal is performing in Crystal Vale. So that's that. Whatever Crystal can do for us right now in Crystal Vale, Jade is going to be able to do for us in Clayton, on the Clayton blockchain, and the new Serendale release. Did you get to catch the AMA today, Bravo Slab? Now let's see. What's the best way to make money with your Gen 1 through 4 heroes? Is it still gold mining? Has it ever been gold mining? I mean, I think if you've got gardeners and you've got liquidity in a garden pool, that's probably one of the best ways, right? Let's see. Isn't there more money in sending gardeners to funded gardens rather than mining gold? My 2 level 10 heroes. Oh, that might not be totally true. I think the jewel crystal those gardeners bring back might be worth more than the gold. Depends on the amount you have funded in the gardens, I'm sure. Let's see. Provost Lab says, this is me catching the EMA today. Oh, asking you about Jade. Oh, man. Yeah, you just barely missed a little bit of me talking more about the AMA on stream a little bit ago, right? Gold mining was the way for months, not sure now. Yeah, but I would say gold mining was only maybe the way if you didn't really have any money invested in the game at all, right? And I thought BTC was headed to 17K yesterday for hot minute. Oh yeah, buddy. It really looked like we were heading for a downfall there. I think that this is just a precursor. I think the market wants to go down that far. I am expecting we are going to see more downward push. Mike Easy replying to me here. It represents a specific boost towards your hero in questing. It'll also be used as a boost for pets and dungeon raids. But then totally says, I totally made this up. Yeah, nobody knows what it means. It could mean nothing or it could mean something for later. And yeah. All right. Yep. There we go. Frost bloater. Nice. All right. So I guess that's an answer to that question. Probably nobody knows what the color means for the flames. Could mean something right now and we haven't recognized it. Personally, well, I gotta spell it right. Personally, I suspect there is already some kind of meaning behind the flame colors, and we just haven't discovered it yet. And then Mike here is replying, if I were a dev, I'd make it so it unlocks access to specific unlockable content only when the flame's specific color. You'll have to figure out what each color unlocks, rewards you for collecting rewards. Yep. Yep. As a dev myself, this is what I would do as well. Wait for players to discover what it does. Let's see. Bravo Slab says, sadly enough, yesterday dump destroyed some alts. It destroyed some alts? What did it destroy? I mean, if we look at that, I mean, let's come back here and look at it real quick. But I find that hard to believe, because let's take a look at Bitcoin, for example. So if we look at the big picture, so this is over just 1 or 2 months of time, then it's dropped, Bitcoin has dropped from 24,000 all the way down to, you know, what it is, 19,000 here, right? And it's even come down to these low levels before. Let's take a look at these low levels right here. 18,600, this low down here, 18,300, another low down here of just about the same, 18,300. And so this dip that we had yesterday right here was a very sharp dip indeed, but it wasn't, I mean, it was smaller than this dip back here in the middle of September. And it was also smaller than this dip here on September the 6th. And it wasn't deeper or lower than some of these other dips. I mean, it was right in line with this dip here. It was not as low as this one right here, right? And there were times when there was a much deeper fall. And then if you scroll out more, then it's hardly noticeable. And then on top of that fact that it wasn't deeper than anything and wasn't farther than anything, the other thing to keep in mind is it's so short. Look at how short that is. It's almost instantaneous. Drop down, rise back up, whereas some of these did last a little bit longer. So I find it hard to believe that that little thing right there caused some alts to fail. What alts failed because of that? Do you think this is a bullshit sign then? I'm not sure I'd say it's a bullshit sign. I do think that the global economic indicators really show that we are going to go down lower, right? The housing market still has issues. There's financial troubles over there in the UK. We still got the war, Ukraine and Russia going on. There's just a bunch of stuff. The U.S. Fed, of course, and that's not even to include things like the Federal Reserve probably going to continue to raise interest rates, which is, I think, one of the biggest factors that we have hitting. And so with all that kind of stuff, I think we're still going to see a much larger downtrend. As I was saying a little earlier in chat, I'm super surprised to see such a high bounce back up so quickly. This seems like it's a massive fake out or something weird is going on right here. To have that big of a bump back up. I'm not sure why people would be so bullish or positive about some of the news that came out. I mean, earlier today, we were looking at some of the news reports and trying to figure out, I still need to go over everything. I don't have a full, clear picture of what's going on right here. But from the little bit that I read, the CPI numbers came out, and apparently they looked like, or the CPI numbers indicated that the Feds were probably going to have to continue to raise interest rates again because inflation was still really high. And so I think that's what caused this big dip or panic. And I think that that's true, right? So CPI numbers came in. Inflation has still not been stopped. So the Fed is absolutely going to have to raise interest rates more and again, and maybe even at a stronger level. So that would push down a lot of value. Why it's jumped back up, I really don't know, except for a couple of news stories. There were some things like McDonald's and Goldman Sachs and maybe something else had some positive news. But the thing is, their positive news, I think, is indicating about still a very strong economy, and that consumers are still spending a lot of money, which is part of what's going on. Consumers are spending too much money, and so they're trying to slow that down. There's too much money in the economy. And so having too much money in the economy where you've got a bunch of consumers just spending a lot means that you've got this higher rampant inflation. In which case, the United States Fed has made it abundantly clear that they are going to do whatever it takes to stop that, which means higher interest rates than maybe even they were originally projecting. So this is super strange to see this much of a jump up, right? I mean, totally erased that plunge and has popped way back up, higher than it's been in the last like 2 days, I guess. It's erased 3 days worth of downtrend right here. You see I've got this mark, this line coming down here for Bitcoin for the last some amount of time. That's been the trend. If we zoom out far enough, it all kind of lines up a little bit. I meant alts were going down more than usual. Oh yeah, during the, absolutely, yeah, that is true. Alts, I guess, normally tend to take a much more drastic hit when Bitcoin does, right? Something very odd that I found really strange was it affected so many altcoins that I never would have thought of, like here for Jewel and Crystal. So we see that even Crystal took a big hit right there, and then of course recovered almost instantly from that. And if we look at invert that pair, Jewel, the same thing. Jewel took a big hit right here recently and then has recovered, fully. And this seems super strange to me, in that a little bit of a hit to something is going to affect every cryptocurrency, I guess just because of all the automated arbitration, right? So you've got all this automated arbitration that when some of the tokens are off balance, the bots go to work. They try to correct the disparity or the difference in values on different blockchains and so on. But what this tells me right here is even embedded in our game, like DeFi Kingdoms, there are arbitration bots in here that are affecting the price of Jewel and Crystal. So our little game is tied into the global market so much because of some of these arbitration bots that we will see spikes in that, which I don't really think we should. I'd feel a lot better if we didn't have that kind of arbitration Maybe there's nothing we can do to help that though. Google accepting crypto and stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. So I did hear about that. Was it yesterday or the day before? Something I was listening to. I did hear that Google was going to be accepting. In fact, let's take a quick look at that news. Google accepting crypto payments. Google partners with Coinbase for cloud services. And let's also do one more thing here too. In the last 24 hours, perhaps. Yeah. Google will start accepting crypto payments in early 2023. As it announced, it would be accepting crypto payments in the Google Cloud Next conference. Indeed. Elon Musk and Google accept SHIB? Really? All right. Google Cloud will soon accept payments in cryptocurrency, which I thought was pretty cool. And that is something I was watching either last night or today, or early this morning, or something like that. Was kind of showed also that Google hadn't always had that same acceptance of cryptocurrency. Somebody pulled up something that kind of showed that Google was a little bit more anti-crypto some number of years ago. Google collaborates with Coinbase to accept crypto for cloud service payments. So it's interesting. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do. Certainly, Google accepting crypto payments is cool, but it looks like it's for cloud services only. Let's see what this over here says. Google forged a deal with Coinbase to pay for services with crypto, but what services specifically? To enable users to increase digital payment options, accepting crypto payments for services, but like what? It might only be cloud services, perhaps. The Google Cloud Platform Infrastructure Service will initially accept cryptocurrency payments from a handful of customers. So it sounds like, again, it's not going to be payments open to everybody for everything. But still, this is a step in the right direction, I do feel. Yeah. So very good. Yeah, very good to have that news. I do feel that is a good positive indeed. Let's see. Bravo Slabs also says, I believe some people thought BTC was dumping to 17K, if not lower. I know some traders who did panic sell. Yeah, that it did look like with such a sharp drop that something was seriously going to happen. But that, to me, kind of felt, or still feels, like maybe there's some kind of manipulation going on. I still am not positive that we are done with that. All right, so if we go back here to Bitcoin and zoom in on this thing right here, I still think that this little bump up is probably some kind of a fake out, or maybe people are jumping too early on a bandwagon for the good news, but they haven't realized a lot of the bad news, or what the bad news fully means yet. I think that when interest rates are raised again, and maybe at a higher amount, then we're going to see a pretty big drop off again. So now actually might be a good time to sell some things if everything has a little bit of a bump up, right? So if Crystal is getting a bump up now and Jewel's getting a bump up now, maybe that's going to be a good time to sell, right? Before we take a deeper dive lower. Google is huge. This might be one of the greatest news we've gotten in a while. Well, it is super great that Google is not anti-crypto, right? That is indeed fantastic. But I think specifically the news about them accepting some payment on some certain services for only some small number of users or clients isn't really the same thing as saying Google's accepting payments from everyone everywhere all over the world in crypto, or allowing everyone to pay anything through crypto, right? That would be totally different type of news. Let's see. Anyway, this should be the beginning. Soon, more enterprises will accept crypto. I do agree with that. And because a lot of people do look up to Google and respect what Google's doing and think Google's done enough research on certain things, then I do think you're right in that this probably opens the doors to a lot of other corporations and enterprises to feel better about working with crypto. Hey, if Google's doing it, then maybe we should be doing it too. Yeah. So that is definitely going to be good. Just by saying that, I spawned my phone to try to read what I was saying or take voice dictation. Bravo says, my archer just got a rune. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Are you doing training quests? What level? Or no, you don't have to be doing training quests. You're doing mining quests, right? To get the rune. I think you might be able to get runes through gardening quests also, perhaps. Let me warn you, Bravos, I've got a delivery of groceries that was supposed to be delivered at 5, but I just got a notice on my phone that said that it would be here soon. And if it does get here, there's some frozen food and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to have to shut off stream a little earlier. I was planning to do at least another 30 minutes. And I scheduled my grocery delivery to be at that time after my stream. But for some reason, they seem to be saying, here it says my order is set for delivery between 5 and 6. Okay, so that is right. But what? This other one... So I've got 2 deliveries. Oh, man. This one also says your order is scheduled between 5 and 7. But then I got another message here that says it will be delivered soon. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not going to show up for 30 more minutes. Food is important. Do what you need to do. Yeah, just letting you know, if I do need to jet out of here really quickly, you'll know why, and I'll say why. But, so what's going on? Okay. Oh, that is. I think this is a person bringing some food into my doorway. Let's just double check. Okay. That is somebody bringing in groceries. Okay. So we got our food delivery. I guess I'm going to have to go. It says it's going to be delivered between 5 and 7, but obviously they're here early, which, of course, I don't necessarily want to complain about. Let's see. I'm intrigued by the flame color now. Yeah, this flame color. What is all that about? I wonder if we can ask the right people who might know, or who might be able to spill some beans or something. Apparently in the Discord, when we asked earlier, nobody really knew or had any ideas, right? So that's too bad. But maybe we can find out somewhere. All right, so I guess we're about to wrap up. Bravo Slater, fam, absolutely my fave OST. Great stream, and absolutely glad you could stop by. And anyone else who's lurking out there in the background, so great to have y'all here, even if you're not chiming in for most of the stream. Always good to have a few people here. Sorry, I'm going to wrap up stream a little bit earlier than I intended, but of course we got frozen food sitting on the doorstep right now, so we got to get to that. We will be streaming again tomorrow, our morning stream on Twitch and our afternoon stream, like right now, on YouTube. So there will be more content soon. Until then, y'all have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. Good meridian, whatever AM or PM it is for you. We'll see y'all later. Until then, Rock out.